the hope of these family meetings is like we want to just touch base as best we can in COVID world, as best we can, and trying to figure out instead of we do email things. We are trying to get information out, but we also want to just maybe have a platform to be able to talk and just kind of walk through some stuff. So we're not going to just meet for meeting's sake. We want to walk through some things. So maybe let's look back over. Like the last time we met, we were walking into Above and Beyond, walking into Christmas. Maybe walk us through maybe some of those things that we can celebrate.
And so you may know some of the stuff from being around on the weekend, or if you missed a Sunday, you may have missed kind of what we celebrated. And so if you were around in December, we did talk about Above and Beyond, and we kind of set a goal for our end of the year generosity for the month of December of $250,000.
Right.
And giving for the month of December actually exceeded $300,000, which is just incredible.
Dude, that's awesome. And I know, so this is what we can't say on Sundays, but this family, this core family, this mission family, like this is a high percentage of what that is. So the sacrificial generosity, the proactive generosity, the way that we're kind of investing together, I'm so proud to be a part of it and so grateful. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
so,
especially in the midst of all that's going on. It was so cool to see some of that. And we had Mission Christmas in the parking lot, which was just unbelievable. It's like we had 1,500 people over the 3 nights in the parking lot, which
and like in socially responsible and distant, and we had like classic cars in the back, and we had like it snowed.
It snowed.
It's crazy.
It felt great. Like I'm the programming team, which I'm not on. I've never been allowed to be on the programming team.
Well, there's reasons.
The church is better for it. So they did such an incredible job. The whole experience I thought was phenomenal. I had friends that came to Mission for the first time. It was so great. So
I love our church. So obviously I'm biased. I am on the programming team, but it is beyond me. Like I was stoked for like what it was. So I was like Friday and Saturday night of Mission Christmas. I'm like, I've seen everybody I know, I think, right? And then Sunday it was like, oh, it doubled that. I was like, oh, hey, hello everybody, there you are. So, man, it was awesome. Christmas for us was pretty chill. So kind of hung out and had a daughter home from college, and then had to give her up again, all over again, back to college.
That's a new stage of life for you.
Yeah, welcome to it.
Yep.
So,
Mission students also in December. Gosh, this blows my mind. They had something like 55 middle school students at their Christmas event, which is 15 more than last year. So in the midst of COVID, they
parents
actually
are just trying to get rid of them.
Totally, I was one of them. I was like, I will gladly drop my middle school off, and it was just incredible to see like the number of students that were engaging in that, and to see that ministry even taking ground in this season is so encouraging.
So I think when you're thinking through the students of Mission, and maybe we have them in our homes, or when we see students of Mission, man, just as core family, man, let's be praying for them and those families. This is incredibly difficult, and the most difficult season that's existed in the life of us, but for sure in the life of students. And to think through like what the leaders of student ministry, if you're leading in student ministry, so grateful for you. If you are like our student ministry staff, like man, and if you're a student kind of hanging out, we're so proud of you. Keep going. As far as I know, all pandemics that have ever existed have ended. So at some point this will be over. But man, super grateful for the way that students are living out their faith, and in the most complicated season I can imagine.
Yep. And then we've also seen throughout the course of this, like it's crazy. We're coming up 2 months away from it being a year. We've seen our online engagement, whether that's the church online platform on Sunday mornings at 9 and 10:30, or on demand with YouTube and Facebook. We've seen the engagement through that stay strong throughout this whole thing. And so I just kind of want to even shout out to those of you that are engaging only online right now. That says a lot to like the patterns that you've put in place and the habits that you've created to stay engaged and to make that a priority in the midst of all that's going on. Like kudos to you. Thanks for engaging, leaning in. It has been a great experience to be able to gather and worship together online. So,
and I'm going to brag because we had nothing to do with it. So I feel like we can brag on that. It's like, the team behind the scenes, pandemic hit almost a year ago. We had no online experience. Like we had never posted a service online. We'd never had a church platform online. We didn't have any way to promote anything online. And in this less than 1 week, I think it's 3 days, we had an online experience that we've been running, and we're going to keep throughout.
And that's not going to go away.
So like the team behind the scenes, good on you. Love that. It's so cool. And a lot of us have been engaging that way, or being able to share with our friends. It's really, really cool.
And I want to take a second just to connect some dots for those around Mission that have maybe been tracking through last summer and fall. We rolled out kind of some major initiatives that we
Right.
wanted to tackle in the fall, like the Leadership Academy, the chaplain training, the change workshops. And I just want you to know the fruit that's coming from that is incredible. So we are revamping our entire care team right now and kind of renaming it the Pastoral Support Team, largely because of what we've seen come from the Leadership Academy and the chaplain training, where there's so many people at Mission that are amazingly gifted, super passionate, and just live their life on mission. And we've identified them through this process. They've been here this whole time, and we've identified them through this process, and they've kind of raised their hands to go, I want to do ministry where I work, live, and play. And so we're kind of building this team, we're building the plane in the air, so to speak, is how we say it. But kind of coming up with these different roles, we're like, and it's in like the beta phase. Like we're really just experimenting and building it out, but you're going to start to see some of these things coming over the next months. We're increasing the number of couples that are doing marriage mentoring. We've got an immediate response team of individuals who went through the chaplain training who are trained now to respond in crisis and kind of triage situations and then hand off to like marriage mentors or financial counselors or coaches or people that are becoming certified in the change workshop or in the Genesis counseling. And so there's a lot of stuff still happening behind the scenes that we are kind of seizing this moment to be able to be ready to continue to do more ministry this year.
I feel like it's even just prepping for the needs that are going to come. When you think through, I think COVID, we've talked about this before, family, but I think COVID kind of exposed all of our stuff raw.
Yeah.
Like any dysfunction we've had in our mind, heart, soul, relationship, finances, whatever, it's all probably raw right now.
Right.
And so I think when we walk back into life and community, like if we can have people, if the church could be the kind of people that help people relationally, financially, in crisis, maybe addiction or spiritually, whatever it is, to be prepared for that is cool. I call it the PST team. Pastoral support team. So it's like, when there's a need over there, it's like that somebody would come along and say, "Psst, I can help you." So that's
we're going to have to rename it now.
Okay,
You ruined
sorry.
it for us. Shoot. Yeah.
so one of the things that we want to just walk through too, of like, just as we're figuring out complexity of gathering and helping people, and even the complexity of needs that exist in our county, in our city, in our state. One of the things we would just want to let you know, kind of just as we're going forward, how we're going to be able to serve people in gatherings. And the church isn't only a gathering. We know that. We talk about the church. Here's the church. Here's the people. The church has always been the people. But as we're trying to help people, one of the things that we know is that gathering together and what we've missed out in COVID has been a significant hit in some people's spiritual journey and an emotional journey, relational journey, mental journey, all of it. So what we're walking through starting this Sunday, kind of what it's going to look like from here going forward. We will keep the online experience at 9 and 10:30 with this online platform. Odds are, if you're on here tonight, you know all about the online platform, so good on you because you're on it. But that's a place that we have hosts, that we help people take next steps, like that there's chats, like the online platform is a great experience in the midst of COVID, and it will kind of exist throughout. When COVID's done, Mission Online platform will keep going. We also have the parking lot experience that we've said. It's in person, it's outside, it's socially distant, responsible. It's actually been cool to see what God has done through the parking lot. So that'll be
donuts and coffee.
We have donuts
at the
and
parking
coffee
lot
now.
again?
We had screens on Sunday. I mean,
Yeah.
we're so fancy.
Yeah.
So we're so fancy now. So that'll be at 10 a.m. But for the time going forward, even canceling last Sunday at 6. But the time going forward, our 6 p.m. service, we're going to move inside because we want to be able to be socially responsible. And there's just some people in our world that we want to be socially and physically distant, responsible. There'll be masks and all that kind of stuff. But there's people in our world that are missing the rhythm of gathering inside for whatever reason. And so we want to make sure that we can offer that. So for the potential going forward, the 6 p.m. service will be an inside option. And maybe you want to talk about what it will look and feel like when you walk
so
inside.
the parking lot, if you've been to a parking lot service, that one's it's fairly relaxed in that, like, it's similar to being outside at the beach, whatever. Once you're seated, you can take your mask off and kind of hang out. We're able to do hospitality. There's donuts and coffee that are served by people wearing gloves and masks. The indoor option is going to be a little bit more restrictive. So we're not going to be serving hospitality beforehand. You're going to need to wear a mask at all times when you come in. If you checked out the service that we did inside in November, it's going to feel and look like that. You're going to be physically distanced. We're going to be seating people so that we can maintain safe distances around everybody, staying well below capacity numbers in our building. And we're going to be cleaning and sanitizing after every service. We've got all the equipment to be able to like even clean all the cushions and stuff.
Yeah. We actually did it on the front end of COVID,
Yep.
knowing at some point we would
Yeah,
move
totally
in.
prepared for this. And then after this, and then you'll wear your mask in here the whole time, and then we'll exit everyone immediately after the service. And then the lobby will be outside, so on the patio, parking lot. We may have hospitality afterwards. So if you want to kind of hang out and connect with some people, you'll be able to do that outside after the service. So if you're looking for a place where you can take your mask off and kind of chill, that's going to be the parking lot. If you're looking for a time to gather indoors, it's going to be at 6 o'clock, and you're going to have to adhere to all the same stuff you would if you were at a store, a retail shop, mall, anything like that. It'll feel just like that.
So the way that I would love to pitch this for our family is to go like, I'm biased, but I think there are people that we need to reach, and I think God has uniquely placed us even in the midst of COVID. So the people that your ones, our ones, my ones that we're praying for, thinking through what would be the best invite for them. Is the online option the best invite for them? Well, then join them online or invite them online. Or what is the parking lot the best option for them or their comfort level? Then join them in the parking lot, invite them to the parking lot. Or is it inside at the 6 the best option? Well, then join them at your comfort level inside at the 6 to be able to be a part of it. So if any of those things are outside of their comfort level or outside of your comfort level, you do not have to engage. We will not shame you for only engaging online, because it is not a less than option. We will not shame you for only engaging in the parking lot. It is not a less than option. We will not shame you for only engaging in the room that we opened up at 6 p.m. because it is not a less than option. So
yeah, we're not in the business of trying to convince people how or where to engage with the church.
Right.
We're in the business of trying to meet people where they're at with the hope of Jesus, and we feel like this is going to allow us to continue to do that in more ways. So
maybe even a couple. We'll leave room for questions. So if you're saving up questions, great, love that. And I'm not paying attention to the chat, so he's responsible for that.
Yeah, while we're doing that, real quick. So if you do have questions, you can ask them. You can also, if you're like, I kind of want to ask this personally, info@missionventura.com. Maybe we can throw that in the chat as well. You can anytime, guys. We say this, we mean it. Like, just you can email info@missionventura.com. We'd love to meet.
And one of us
Yeah,
will get it. Yeah.
we can do a Zoom call. We can meet face to face at any time to talk through all of the things that we're discussing and navigating at any time. Yep.
Absolutely. And if you're leading anything, it's more complex, then we're just trying to lead with what we're doing going forward. So I would say just a couple details for the Mission family to know what's coming up this Sunday. So it's Baptism Sunday. So we are stoked about that. So at 10 a.m. outside in the parking lot, we will have the baptistry out there. So it's going to be great. We're already blocking out family seating. Invite your whole world. And then at 6 p.m. we'll have baptisms on the inside as we do that service. And it'll be socially distant. Actually, the last time we were gathered in November, it was a Baptism Sunday as well. So we feel comfortable with being able to do that in a responsible way. And then next weekend is a national holiday. Not this weekend, but next weekend, February 6th and 7th.
That's right.
It's not really a national holiday, but it's the Super Bowl. I know that the Rams aren't in it, and I know that the Bears aren't in it, and I know the Cowboys aren't in it.
I'm used to that.
Yeah. So, but what we have done every Super Bowl Sunday for the last few years that I can remember is that we've taken our Sunday night service at 6 p.m. and moved it to Saturday. So that's what we're doing. It's normal. We're not saying that football is greater than God. We are not saying that. What we're saying is most people don't want to volunteer on Sunday night of the Super Bowl because there's other things going on. So we just go, okay, well, let's pay attention to that. So February 6th at 6 p.m., we are moving our Sunday night service to Saturday night, February 6th at 6 p.m., and then we're going to it'll be inside, and then we're keeping the Sunday morning at 10 a.m. on February 7th in the parking lot. So
and online's the same, 9 and 10:30.
9 and 10:30 on the platform, and then on demand after that. So just a couple things coming up.
Yeah, and we're going to, as always, as we've done the last several months, continue to evaluate and make changes. And so thanks for being adaptable with all of that. Do you want to talk future, looking forward as our last thing here tonight?
Okay, so yes, I do. I actually live there, so I actually love talking about this. So if you're looking for okay, it's 2021, ground we're going to take, we got a lot of stuff to figure out, what's mission going to be about. We've talked about this, but you need to know, over the next few months, you're going to see a concerted effort publicly. We are getting ready to turn on the Oxnard, campus, engagement pretty high. So we're stoked about it. We are actively looking for places that we can rent. COVID is interesting because it's a little
makes it
complicated right
challenging.
now. So we're trying to figure out where we can rent in Oxnard. We're praying through a bunch of opportunities. We actually want to reach our county for Jesus. I know that's a shocker as a church that we'd want to be about that, but that's what the stuff we're praying through. How do we reach our county? What has God uniquely gifted our church to do? Not just the pastors and not just like the buildings, but like what is he uniquely gifted the people that make up Mission to do? And we feel a lot of conviction around, man, we want to be a lighthouse in Oxnard and in our county and beyond. So we're moving towards that towards next fall. Is like real. Don't, I mean, literally, you can hold me to that.
We're
don't
pretty
announce
committed.
it yet. Don't announce it yet because we want
don't
to be
know
able
how
to
we're doing it,
invite
but we're
the
pretty
church.
committed to
We're
this
committed
fall.
because that we're
Oxnard's going to happen.
yes,
so,
and because of the people that we want to reach. Because of our friends and family and neighbors, there's a ton of people that live in Oxnard at Mission. That's great. We're not trying to make it more convenient for people that live in Oxnard that go to Mission. What we're trying to do is make it convenient for people that live in Oxnard to invite their friends that, for whatever reason, are having trouble getting to this facility or area. So, I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, so be praying for all of that, and this is going to be an awesome year.
It's going to be a great year.
Can't wait. So
fire away. So I mean, we can hang for a second. If there are any questions that kind of come through, I may have missed some. So
yeah, that's it. I mean, the only
graceful.
question I've seen so far is what meats you're going to be smoking on your new smoker. So we can talk about that, and then for real,
ribs, brisket.
We don't have anything else, right? Just so everyone's wondering. So if you have questions, we'll be hanging around for a little bit.
Yep.
We can talk smoked meats. But yeah, otherwise we can cut you loose.
So Mission family, this is what the stuff we're wanting you to pray through. So we're wanting you to pray through, like if you have laxed like I have for a couple weeks, honestly, over the Christmas break, I wasn't praying for my 1-at-1 because I turned my alarm off. So I'm cranking my alarm back on to my 1-at-1 that I want to make sure that that's at the front of my heart every day to be able to pray for the people that God has uniquely placed me to. So pray for my 1-at-1. You can set your alarm right now. Alexa, set your alarm. Never mind. So I was just kidding. And then I want us to be able to be thinking through what God is doing in Oxnard. Pray for wisdom. Pray for open doors. Pray for all that stuff. And begin to pray for people that are going to get baptized this weekend. And going from there, what we can do. So yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great.
All right. So we'll hang out for a little bit.
Yep.
If you got questions.
It's 20 minutes. We're not just meeting for meeting's sake. We're not going to take up your time. So grateful for your time. Much love, Mission. We will catch you. Peace. We're going to hang out for a little bit. If questions come in the chat, we'll see you then.